numbers with white trim. Chestnut Hill in white with red trim written across the front breast. Goldey-Beacom out there in the road blues, and Bryson wins the tip back over Milligan. And we're just underway here at the Sorgenti Arena, right to left. It's Lexi Bruno. Bruno being guarded by Milligan. That's an interesting choice. A big girl on Lexi Bruno, one of the best players in the conference. Trossi with the steal. Up ahead, Milligan through the hoop, and she lays it in from the right of the hoop with the right hand for the first points of the game, just 30 seconds in. Lewis, right wing, holds with Trossi on her. Skip pass Howard, left wing three. Got it. Nothing but net from Marissa Howard. His first shot attempt of the game. Good for Goldey-Beacom. They're on top 3-2. Left to right, Trossi. Looking for McDonough, right wing. Works left on Stefanski. Kicks into the left corner, Milligan. On the block, it's Wild Goose. Flips it up, high off glass and in. From the left block, Wild Goose tightly defended, but hit the difficult shot. It's 4-3. Just over a minute into the ball game. Stefanski holds left wing, man-to-man D. Out of the Griffins early on. It's Howard between the circles. Now Stefanski left wing at three. Too short. Long rebound near side. Lewis comes away with it. And it's a fresh 30 for Goldey-Beacom. Bruno backs out and resets. Works right around a Bryson screen. Cut off by Milligan. Left corner, Howard. Pass back out for Bruno with 15 on the shot clock. So Jack a three straight on and got it. First shot of the game for Bruno. And it's nothing but net. Goldey-Beacom back on top, 6-4. 8:20 to go in the opening quarter. Pass nearly stolen near side by Bruno. Trossi is looking for McDonough on the near side wing. Goes out of bounds and it stays with the Griffins. Kuhnen to inbound. Trossi drives right baseline, lost it out of bounds. And it stays with the Griffins. She was cut off by Lewis. And it went off of Lewis's leg. McDonough to inbound. It's Wild Goose left block, flips it up and in, high off glass. Second back of the ball game for Wild Goose. Both of them identical from that left block, just sort of chucked it up and in.
Yeah, both of them look kind of like a wild shot, and somehow just finds the right part of the glass, kisses it in for the 2 points.
A little unorthodox there, but it counts. 6-all. Just over 2 minutes into the ball game. Lewis in the lane, kicks for Howard, right baseline. No good, can't get the roll, too short from 12. And here comes Trossi left to right. Trossi finds an open Milligan, right baseline, 12 feet away. Skip past McDonough, left corner of three. Air ball too strong, and Lewis comes away with the board for Goldey-Beacom. Bruno right to left, Milligan guarding her, so that's the matchup that Michael West wants right now. He wants the bigger Milligan on Bruno to try to slow her down. Bryson right wing, drives on Kuhnen, spins in the lane, goes up with the left, too short, rebound Trossi. And she pushes the pace left to right, 1-on-2. Trossi, the freshman, will back out as Goldey-Beacom got back. Milligan deep two. Too short, rattles out from the left wing, and then Milligan crashes to the deck trying to draw a foul. It's 5-on-4 momentarily. Bruno, right wing, crosses over on Trossi. And a foul on Trossi on the perimeter. First foul of the ball game. Fast-paced action so far, and we'll get our first sub of the game as Marissa Howard sits. She has a three in this game. And Tanner Turner-Rush comes into the game, 5'7" freshman guard, so Goldey-Beacom going a bit smaller here. 6-all, just over 3 minutes into the ball game. Stefanski a three, got it. Left wing. Kyla Stefanski, a quadruplet, if you can believe that. One of 4 sisters. One of them is on this team, but she won't be playing today. Puts Goldie on top, 9-6. Kuhnen's pass tipped on the left wing, but she recovers and finds Milligan between the circles. Milligan goes right, or rather McDonough goes right around the Milligan screen. Wild shot won't go off glass from the right of the hoop. Here comes Bruno right to left. Bruno underneath for Bryson, tipped and stolen by Trossi, 2-on-1 with Milligan. Near side of the floor, Trossi finds Milligan who lays it in from the left of the hoop.
And a couple times now you got Trossi and Milligan running the floor on the fast break. Got a couple easy buckets off the turnovers.
It's 9-8 as we come up on 6 to play in the opening quarter. Goldey-Beacom on top in this conference affair. Between the circles, Lewis holds the ball over her head with Trossi on her. Bryson left wing, drives left baseline on Kuhnen, muscles her way in, partially blocked, tipped up in the air, and Trossi comes away with it at the free throw line. Trossi left to right, cut off, finds Kuhnen right wing, got it. Caity Kuhnen, it's her first shot of the game, and quickly a timeout for Goldey-Beacom and Beth Ann Burke. The Griffins out to an early 11-9 lead with 5:35 to go in the opening quarter. Fast action so far, not a lot of whistles. Only one foul in the game to this point. That was on Trossi early on in the ball game. Right now for the Griffins, Lauren Milligan and Jada Wildgoose tied for the team high with 4. For Goldie, Bruno, Stefanski, and Howard all have hit threes. Lightning ball out of the timeout, right to left, it's Lexi Bruno. Working on Milligan. Lewis left wing for Howard, who's just checked back in between the circles. Kuhnen out on her. Left baseline, Bruno a jumper, well too short from 18. Kept alive though by Tanner Rush. Back for Bruno. Underneath Howard, right block. Heavily contested, comes up too short from the right of the hoop. Here comes Trossi left to right, darts inside and was fouled. Shot wouldn't go. That will send Trossi, the freshman, to the line for 2, is doing what she does best. That's running the one-man fast break. Trossi from the line this year, 52.9%. And hits the first. More substitutions here for Goldie. Turner Rush comes back into the game after getting a brief break. Second rims out from Trossi. Score holds at 12-9, 5:02 to go in the opening quarter of this conference matchup. Bruno crosses over left wing, kicks for Howard, left baseline, off to the left from 18. Bryson keeps it alive, goes back up, gets the shot to go and the foul. High off glass, it's Brittany Bryson. And she'll go to the line looking to complete the three-point play. They can tie the game up. It's 12-11 if she hits the free throw. Free throw is too short from Bryson. Rebound for Nicole Periski, who's getting her first action of the game. Now Kuhnen a 3. Got it. From the left wing, Caity Kuhnen. She's 2 for 2 so far today. And I think they're going to check. Okay, they're trying to wipe some condensation off the floor. That's what the delay was about. Thought they were going to check at first whether she had her foot on the line or not, but she did not. It was a 3 from the left wing, and it puts the Griffins on top, 15-11, 4:40 to go in the opening quarter. Bruno right to left. Lewis right wing, trying to post up Howard. Back out for Bryson, top of the key. Works left on Periski, fades away with the left. Too short, rebound for Kuhnen. McDonough, far side, left to right, had Milligan up ahead, didn't go to her. Hits Periski in the lane, her righty shot won't go. Gets her own rebound, goes back up, air ball with the right hand, and it goes out of bounds. And it goes to Goldie. So Periski, a couple good looks at the cup. Couldn't hit. Coming off a 9-point performance against Bloomfield, but she was just 2 of 10 from the field against a very intimidating Bloomfield front line. Lewis drives right baseline, spins, kicks out Howard a 3. Too short from the right wing. Going back up with it is Tanner Rush, but it's swatted emphatically by McDonough. Out of bounds, far side. And it will stay with Goldey-Beacom. I got a rise out of the men's team that's watching the game right now. Let's see Bruno to inbound, left of the hoop. It's Turner Rush, right corner, being hounded by Milligan. 23 on the shot clock. It didn't reset on that second shot attempt that was rejected, of course. Let's see Bruno dancing on Kuhnen, drives right by her left wing, got the shot to go in the foul. Not the matchup the Griffins want. They've wanted Milligan on Bruno early on in this game. That time it was Bruno dancing on Kuhnen. Crossed over, went right by her on the left wing. Drew the contact, and she's going to the line for one more.
And you mentioned Lexi Bruno before the game as one of the big factors for Goldey-Beacom, and that was a terrific crossover. We were able to get right by Kuhnen and finish the and one.
Only a sophomore and already perhaps the best player in the conference. It's 15-14 after a three-point play and a running layup hit by McDonough from the right of the hoop. It's the Griffins on top, 17-14, 3:22 to go in the opening quarter. It's Berner getting her first action of the game, feeds Stefanski, drives right baseline, tipped out of bounds by McDonough. No, they'll say it never went out of bounds. It's Turner Rush in the lane. Bryson right wing. Berner wide open left wing, didn't take the shot. Tanner Rush will, and that's a deep two from the right wing. Everybody thought the ball went out of bounds when McDonough tipped it. It stayed in, it was saved at one point on the baseline, and it ends up being 2 points for Goldey-Beacom. Kind of an odd play. Risky right block, goes up with the right, gets it to go off glass. 19-16, the two teams trading baskets in a fast-paced first quarter. 2:38 to go in the opening quarter. It's an air ball from Stefanski from the deep right wing. Not a smart shot. Rebounded by Periski. And here comes Trossi, far side of the floor. She's fouled before the shot. First on Turner Rush, second on Goldie. Now Periski will sit. Jada Wildgoose back in the game. Erica McIntosh will get her first action of the game. As Lauren Milligan will sit. Trossi to inbound. Right of the hoop. Finds Wildgoose left wing, trying to drive on Bryson, but is cut off. Handoff from McDonough up top, drives to the hoop, and she was fouled. Shot wouldn't go. Third foul on Goldie. McDonough to the line for 2 shots. She's a 62% free throw shooter. Too short on the first, can't get the roll. McDonough's been a bit quiet of late. At 20 versus Nyack, January 12th, as she hits her second free throw. That's the only game where she's been above 8 in her last 8 games. 20-16 after the free throws. Lewis left wing, works right with Trossi on her across the lane. Cut off, Bryson. Right block, goes up with the left, can hit, well defended by Wildgoose as she swept across the lane. Here comes Trossi, left to right. Trossi right wing, now under 2 minutes to play, and it's kicked by Lewis. As Trossi tried to work the ball inside. Now they'll call a foul instead. Looked like it hit a foot, but they'll call the foul before the kick ball. And that will go on Turner Rush, fourth on Goldey-Beacom. McIntosh will sit. Milligan back in after about a 35-second rest. Let's see Bruno after a brief rest back in the game for Goldie as well. McDonough to inbound. Finds Kuhnen between the circles. Dangerous pass inside for Wildgoose, and she was fouled. Lucky for the Griffins, that easily could have led to a steal. And that will send Wildgoose to the line for 2, as that's the 5th quickly on Goldie. And they're in the penalty, so Wildgoose to shoot 2. But the Griffins up 20-16, 1:51 to go in the opening quarter. First from Wildgoose is good. She's a shade over 68% from the line this year. Off on the second. Wildgoose the leading scorer and rebounder for the Griffins. The lead is the 5, 21-16, 1:42 to go in the opening quarter, but Bryson answers. Right in front of the cup, finished with the left. And she got free inside. 21-18, back to a one-possession game, 1:30 to play in the opening quarter. Kuhnen, backdoor cut McDonough off her hands and stolen by Bryson. Good idea, just couldn't quite execute. Right to left, Bruno. Crosses over on Milligan. Jacks a three, too short, rims out. Bryson goes back up and finishes from the left of the hoop.
So they're beating up another offensive rebound. This is Bryson, Goldey-Beacom.
Bryson does excellent work inside. This is not a one-man show, if you will, this Goldey team. It's a two-man show, Bryson and Bruno. And a foul down low. As McDonough was handling the ball. It'll go on Jada Wildgoose. And that'll serve essentially as a turnover. The ball will go to Goldey-Beacom. 1 point game, 21-20. 56.8 to go in the opening quarter. Bruno works right around the Bryson screen, feeds her on the switch, extra pass, burner, a deep two, got it to go from the left wing. Well executed. Griffins switched on the pick and roll, they doubled Bruno, and then Bryson made the extra pass to find Burner for the open look. Goldey-Beacom back on top, 22-21. Under 30 to play, about a 10-second difference between shot and game clock. It's Periski. Top of the key, threw it away, right to Lewis. Goldey-Beacom can hold for the final shot if they choose to, and it looks like that's how they'll play it out. With 17 on the clock. It's Bruno, far side, 35 feet away. She'll get moving at about 8. Clock's at 10 right now. Works left around a Bryson screen, cut off, Lewis left corner 3. Off to the right, long rebound, McDonough, 2 on the clock at midcourt. She's got to get it up, doesn't realize it, and that is how the quarter will end. McDonough had a breakaway, but the clock was winding down, and she didn't get the shot up. Ricky Sobrano alongside Nick Fratto back here on ESPNWilliamsport.com for the second quarter between Chestnut Hill and Goldey-Beacom. The women going in game 1 of this doubleheader, and turnover on the first possession of the half as Trossi tried to feed Periski down low. Burner right wing, puts it on the deck with the left, spins, flips it up, won't go, too short on the scoop shot with the right. Now Kuhnen will slow things down, 22-21 game, Goldey-Beacom on top, 30 seconds in to the second quarter. Griffins led by as many as 5. Goldey closed on a 6-0 run. Periski driving from the left corner across the lane, and that's a travel. That's the big girl working on the outside. That's not really her forte, and an easy call. So the story so far has been the offensive rebounding of Goldey-Beacom. They have 6 offensive boards, which is made up for the fact that they're shooting under 38%. The Griffins shot 61.5%, but despite that, they're losing because of the offensive rebounds, as Bruno is fouled on the perimeter. That'll go against Periski, her first.
Yeah, those offensive rebounds killed the Griffins in the first quarter there. Now you see Periski coming out, Wildgoose coming back in. And you mentioned that two-man game. It's kind of the same way for Chestnut Hill. You got Wildgoose and Trossi for Chestnut Hill.
Wide open Lewis underneath. She lays it in and was fouled by Trossi from behind. Lewis was wide open underneath, kind of got lost in the shuffle. And Trossi slapped her hand as she went by. That's kind of an ill-advised foul by the freshman. That sends Lewis to the line.
Yeah, Coach West not too happy with Trossi after that one, and got to think smarter than that. She was wide open for that layup. There was just no reason to give her the extra point and foul her.
25-21, Goldey-Beacom on top. They have the last 7. Milligan deep 2 left wing, 2 strong, high rebound for Bruno. Bruno far side, right to left, underneath Bryson, can't finish from the left of the hoop. Had a good open look though. 8:40 to go on a running clock in the second quarter. Both teams trying to snap 2-game losing streaks. Critical matchup for both. Milligan drives left baseline, kicks back out from McDonough. Wildgoose top of the key. Now Milligan, short right corner. Wildgoose, right elbow. 2 short, rims out right. Rebound for Bruno and Goldey-Beacom. Bruno right to left, stutter step move up top, flip shot with the right, and she got it to go somehow. Falling out of bounds, Lexi Bruno, showing why she averages 17 points per game. Down low McDonough, and she was fouled as she fell to the ground. As she cut across the lane, and will send her to the line for 2. Now they'll say it was a non-shooting foul. 27-21, Griffins trail. .9-0 run for Goldey-Beacom, dating back to the first quarter. McDonough right corner, works left around a Milligan screen. Trossi, top of the key, working on Lewis. Tries to feed Wild Goose inside, but threw it away. And that's another turnover. There's been a couple of those so far where the Griffins have been looking to post up either Wild Goose or Poriski and just simply threw the ball away.
Yeah, it's really important for Chestnut Hill not to let this game get out of control and at least keep it within range to close out the first half.
Against Bloomfield, it was a 21-0 run that sunk them. Marissa Howard left wing, too short from deep. Rebound for Wild Goose and traffic in the lane. And here comes McDonough, far side left, left to right. Kuhnen driving left baseline, flips it up from 8, too short, in and out. Rebound for Marissa Howard and Goldey-Beacom. Goldey-Beacom in the blue, Griffins in the gold. Bruno between the circles, working on Milligan. Jacks a deep 2, got it. Lexi Bruno, can't give her an inch. Now it's an 8-point game, 29-21, 7:05 to go. And the opening winner in the second quarter. Left block, Wild Goose spins on Bryson and was fouled. Shot wouldn't go off to the left. This is now a 13-0 run that Goldey-Beacom is in the midst of. The Griffins led 21-16 and have gone dry the last several minutes. Wild Goose, the line drive, free throw good. They snapped the run.
And after a first quarter where both sides of the court seemed like they weren't really defensively tightened together, now Goldey-Beacom is really stuck together and they're really not letting anything easy in the post while defending the perimeter real well.
Now Bryson will sit as Wild Goose misses the second free throw, so the Griffins perhaps can take advantage here with one of the better players on Goldey-Beacom on the bench. 29-22, under 7 to play in the opening half between Chestnut Hill and Goldey-Beacom. It's Berner right wing, and a foul down low against Goldey-Beacom, so it goes to the Griffins. I think Michael West made that call as much as the officials did. It's McIntosh running the point, left to right. She'll hand off for Kuhnen between the circles. Left wing McIntosh has it back, man-to-man D from Goldey-Beacom. McDonough left corner, Bruno on her. Drives into the lane with the right, kicks for Kuhnen, right wing, back for McDonough, a deep 3, got it! McDonough, a 3 from straight on and 22 feet. Trims the lead to 4, 6:15 to go in the second quarter. Howard down low, now Howard right wing. Left corner Berner, deep 2, air ball, too strong. Rebound corralled by Stefanski. Shot clock did not reset, and Bruno was fouled underneath the hoop. Not a shooting foul, but the shot clock will reset to 30 for Goldey. Now Stefanski sits, Turner Rush back in the game. Right block, Howard spins, goes up with the left and gets the roll. Back rim and down as she spun on Kuhnen. 31-25, under 6 to play in the second quarter. Right block, Wild Goose lowers the shoulder, forces up the shot, too strong. Milligan keeps it alive, can't hit the follow a third time, and finally hits from the right of the hoop. Milligan on the second try gets the follow, and it's 31-27, 5:35 to go in the second quarter.
Fortunate she got a couple chances there to finish off that one.
Berner holds, right wing, drives right baseline, reverse layup, in and out, tipped out of bounds, and it's off of Howard and Goldey-Beacom last. And the Griffins take over. Here Michael West, not sure if it came across the microphone, saying low post, and there is Wild Goose right block, too short, keeps it alive, but Bruno comes away with the board. So that was the play call, but Wild Goose couldn't finish. Left wing Bruno, Tanner Rush, short left corner. Back for Lewis as they'll reset with 18 on the shot clock. Berner right wing, Wild Goose on her, giving her some cushion. Bruno between the circles, 12 on the clock. McDonough out on her, jacks a 3, too short, barely drew iron. And here comes McDonough. McDonough 3 on 2, feeds Kuhnen, lays it in, and the foul from the left of the hoop. Caity Kuhnen going to the line, trying to complete the three-point play.
Good job by Kuhnen, able to finish off the layup while drawing the foul off that beautiful one-handed pass by McDonough. Terrific team play on the fast break.
31-29, 4:50 to go in the second quarter. And Kuhnen completes the three-point play. And a timeout taken by Beth Ann Burke and Goldey-Beacom. The lead is trimmed 2-1. It was as many as 8 for Goldey-Beacom with 4:50 to go in the second quarter. We'll step out for a second and be back with more second quarter action. Sobrano back here inside the Sorgenti Arena on the campus of Chestnut Hill College alongside Nick Fratto for game 1 of this doubleheader between the Griffins and the visiting Goldey-Beacom Lightning. Back and forth affair so far in game 1. The Griffins trail by 1, 31-30. 4:50 to go in the second quarter. In a game that for a little while looked like Goldey might run away with, but the Griffins have gotten a nice little run going the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, they chose the right time to change the momentum and to go on a little run of their own.
Turn a rush, right wing for Goldey-Beacom. Fair ball out of the timeout. Lewis holds, left wing, ball overhead. Bruno between the circles, looks left on Kuhnen, comes up short with the left in the lane. Rebounded by Kuhnen. And then a foul on Kuhnen. They'll say she grabbed Bruno. Now they'll call it, looks like, on Bruno. It's going against one of them. Ball stays with the Griffins, so it will go on Bruno, who will now sit. And that will send Kuhnen to the line. That's already the 5th on Goldey-Beacom. With 4:30 to go in the second quarter, they put the Griffins into the double bonus in the first quarter, as well as Kuhnen hits the first. Kuhnen having a nice game so far. Now has 11 points as she converts the second. It gives the Griffins the lead again. 32-31, their first lead since the first quarter. 4:22 to go. Marissa Howard lays it in from the left block on the feed by Lewis. 33-32, 4:14 to go in the opening half. Left elbow Milligan using her pivot foot, looking for options. Passes out for McDonough, a 3. Too strong from the right wing. Rebound for Howard. Right now, the 2 top guns for Goldey, Bryson and Bruno, both on the bench. Stefanski jacks a 3. Book it. Stefanski out of rhythm from the right wing. Has excellent range, though. He's knocking those down in warm-ups with ease. Goldey back up by 4, 36-32, 3:42 to go. In the second quarter, and throwing it away is Milligan as she drove left baseline looking for help. Lewis right wing, spins on McDonough, kicks out Stefanski, right corner, thought about it. Burner between the circles, jacks it up, got it. Back-to-back threes from Goldey, and Michael West quickly wants a timeout. Suddenly the lead has swelled to 39-32, 7 points for Goldey-Beacom, 3:24 to go in the second quarter. And Nick, very briefly, the Griffins took a 32-31 lead, and then just like that, a quick 8-point lead or 8-point run for Goldey-Beacom, and that's with their 2 best players on the bench.
Yeah, and that's what can happen when you don't defend the perimeter that well. A couple easy 3-pointers, just like at the beginning of the game. They started off with nine quick points. Chestnut's just got to do a better job of defending the perimeter.
Goldey-Beacom, they attempt a ton of threes, 23.5 per game. They shoot normally just over 31%. They're 5 of 12 today. 39-32, Goldey-Beacom on top, 3:15 to go in the opening half, and a kick ball on Stefanski as McIntosh was trying to feed Wild Goose in the post. Kuhnen to inbound, near side right corner, in from McIntosh, 20 on the shot clock, she holds. 35 feet away. Kuhnen drives right baseline, kicks for Milligan, right wing, works left. Looking for Wild Goose down low and threw it away. That's at least the third time seen that happen, where the Griffins are trying to post up either Wild Goose or Poriski, and it's just an errant pass.
Yeah, Chestnut Hill looks a little rattled on offense. They got to do a better job taking advantage of Goldey-Beacom being in the foul limit and at least try to penetrate the ball into the paint.
Griffins committed 26 turnovers against Bloomfield last Friday. Trend that's continuing right now against a team that isn't anywhere near as good defensively. Stefanski between the circles, 6 on the shot clock, crosses over, and an offensive foul, illegal screen by Marissa Howard as they were trying to free up Stefanski. Stefanski has been the one doing the bulk of the ball handling with Bruno on the bench. Between the circles, Wild Goose. 39-32, Goldey-Beacom on top, 2:28 to go. In the opening half, Wild Goose left block, puts it on the deck with the right, spins back left, high off glass, in and out. Rebound by Milligan, goes up, hits the bottom of the bucket, and then passes out for McIntosh. McDonough left wing 3. Too strong, and a foul underneath on the rebound, and it will go against Wild Goose at Chestnut Hill, so the ball goes to Goldey. Griffins with several opportunities on that possession. Right to left, it's Burner. Crosses over from the left wing on McIntosh. Nearly stolen by Wild Goose, out of bounds near side, and was off of Howard last. So it goes to the Griffins. Turnover on Burner. As Wild Goose stuck her hand into the passing lane. McDonough left to right. Works right around a McIntosh screen up high. Hammered as she went to the hoop, but it's an offensive foul. Ran into a crowd. Howard and Stefanski were there, and Stefanski drew the charge. Michael West doesn't agree. Coaches rarely do. 1:45 on a running clock. In the opening half, Griffins down 39-32. Burner drives right baseline, forces it up, well too short. Barely drew iron, and Milligan comes away with the board. Milligan left to right. And off from McIntosh, deep right wing, and she'll set up the offense as she backs out. Kuhnen left wing. 15 on the clock, works right. McDonough between the circles, very deliberate here. Milligan, 18 feet away, right wing. Wild Goose free throw line, goes left, nearly stripped, keeps it alive. And it's going the other way, off of Wild Goose last. It was Stefanski who got her hands in there. Then it went out of bounds beyond the baseline. And it was off of Wild Goose last. Come up on a minute to play in the opening half, 39-32. Both teams have suddenly went dry. McDonough, steal on the far side. One-on-one with Howard, crosses over, running across the lane, gets the shot to go. Driving diagonally across the lane from the left wing was McDonough. And hit the shot from the right of the hoop with the right hand. It's 39-34, 45 to go. In the opening half, Lewis left wing, Stefanski between the circles. She holds, Howard left wing, plays catch with Stefanski. 10 on the clock, Stefanski works right. Turner Rush right wing, 7 on the clock, skip past Lewis, left corner, drives right, kicks for Turner Rush, a 3, too short from straight on. Rebound for Wild Goose, but she threw it away to Stefanski. And now, Goldey-Beacom can hold for the final shot. Michael West enraged by that sloppy turnover, sloppy display by the Griffins there. Wild Goose just threw the ball away. 7 on the clock, far side Stefanski, crosses over on Kuhnen, and she was fouled from behind as she attacked diagonally from the right wing. Now they'll call it the other way. An offensive foul on Stefanski. That's her third. 3 on the clock, the Griffins will have the final shot, but they don't have much time. Have to go the length of the floor. Diana Holloway in the game now, seeing her first action. Milligan will inbound, gets it in for McDonough. Has the length of the floor to go. 1 on the clock, jacks it up, and it hits the scoreboard. So that is how the opening half will end, with the Griffins down 39-34 to Goldey-Beacom. A fairly high scoring opening half, but one that was a bit sloppy for the Griffins. So we'll take a break and be back in about 10 minutes with a look at the first. I want to stay a lot closer to the middle teams than them. So it'll be Goldey-Beacom ball to begin the second half. They're out there in the road blues, white numbers with gold trim, gold letters, Goldey-Beacom spelled out in gold. On the front, right elbow, it's Bryson. Jab step on Kuhnen, drives inside, wild shot off glass won't go. Howard the follow, no good either from the right of the hoop. And a solid first defensive possession of the half for the Griffins out there in the gold. McDonough swoop layup gets it to go and the foul. On the run, nobody stopped the ball. McDonough right to left. Flipped it up as she was falling out of bounds from the right of the hoop. And she'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
And a fortunate turn of events there for Chestnut Hill. You were just talking about Marissa Howard for Goldey-Beacom, and there she is picking up the first offensive board of the second half, a minute in. Unable to finish the layup, fortunately for Chestnut Hill, and from that comes back the other way as McDonough for the and one.
McDonough missed the free throw, though, so it's 39-36, a one-possession game again. Bruno lobs it down well for Bryson, the much smaller Trossi on her. Into the corner, Howard, and she hits the deep two from 18 feet and the right corner. So she now has a new season high with 9. It's 41-36. That was a deep two. They don't have it up on the scoreboard just yet. Pass tipped and stolen by Bruno. She tiptoes the out-of-bounds line, but then Milligan stole it back as she tried to save it near side. Now Trossi will back out. Goes right around a wild goose screen up high, rejected by Bryson out of bounds. Trossi gets it back, saved it before it went out of bounds. 15 on the clock, it didn't reset. And Lewis tips it out near side as McDonough was looking for Kuhnen on the left wing. Kuhnen to inbound. Trossi, left corner, goes left baseline to the hoop and gets it to go off glass with the right. 41-38, 38-36 to go. In the third quarter, Bruno fouled on the perimeter. She won't get the continuation as she went to the hoop.
Coach West begging his defense for a stop here.
Now Trossi has to sit. That was her third foul she just picked up, so that's not good news for the Griffins, but Trossi has had a quiet game so far, save for that last layup. Stefanski, right wing. Holloway on her. Holloway played about 5 seconds in the first. She played the last possession, and that was it. Bruno left wing. Stefanski around a screen up high. Too short, rattles out from deep. And Milligan takes the board away from Howard. Griffins have numbers if they push it. It's Milligan, leaves for McDonough right wing. Had some space, but instead they'll reset. Holloway between the circles, crosses over on Lewis and threw it out of bounds near side. Looking for Kuhnen. Nobody there. And that's another turnover. Bruno left to right. Goldey-Beacom. Bruno had, in game one between these two teams, just a massive game. 25 points, 8 steals as her partner, Bryson, lays it in from the left of the hoop. Had a good open look down low. 43-38, 7:40 to go in the third quarter. Griffins trail in a big CACC matchup. Right corner, Milligan holds the ball over her head, works left with the left-hand dribble. Looking for options, 10 on the clock. Milligan still with it, handoff up high for McDonough. Backs out 35 feet away, deep right wing. Goes left, hits Milligan on the pick and roll, 2 on the clock. She forces it up, in and out from the left of the hoop. And it's a jump ball on the rebound as Kuhnen got in there with Bryson. So the ball stays with the Griffins because of the good work by Kuhnen. Now Howard will sit. Tanner Turner rush back in the game. McDonough finds Milligan left wing on the inbounds. Milligan drives right across the lane, kicks for Kuhnen, deep 2, in and out. From 12 feet, Holloway keeps the ball alive far side, and it's another fresh 30 for the Griffins. McDonough calling out plays up high, drives right to the hoop, and she was fouled. And she'll go to the line for 2. Foul will go against Lexi Bruno. That's her third. Second foul on Goldey-Beacom. Fouls were an issue. for Goldie in the opening half. They put the Griffins into the bonus in both quarters. Now Burner in as Bruno will sit because of the foul trouble. McDonough missed the first attempt. Misses the second as well, keeps it alive though, and gets a fresh 30 for the Griffins. So McDonough missed both free throws, but got the offensive board, but now a travel by Wild Goose as she worked into the lane from the left block on the feed from McDonough. So the Griffins a multitude of chances on that possession, and they come up with nothing. 43-38, Griffins trail, 6:42 to go. In the third quarter. Here's a three off to the left from Stefanski in the right wing. Wild Goose with the board for the Griffins. McDonough right to left. Into the lane, kicks for Kuhnen. Drives left baseline, cut off by Stefanski, and finds McDonough. Plays catch with Kuhnen, she'll jack a three, got it. Caity Kuhnen on the assist from Brittany McDonough. And a timeout taken with the Griffins down 43-41. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. Take a quick break and be back with more third quarter action. Sobrano and Nick Fratto back here on ESPNWilliamsport.com. It's Holloway on the run, threw it away from the right wing, looking for a cutting Wild Goose. So the Griffins turned it over. Out of the timeout, the first possession, Goldey-Beacom had a couple looks at the hoop on the offensive rebounds, but came up with nothing. Now Burner misses a three from the right wing. Ball goes out of bounds. An air ball, and it goes to the Griffins. And Nicole Periski back in the game, seeing her first action of the second half. Griffins down 43-41. 5:35 to go. In the third quarter, McDonough on the run, rejected by Bryson. As she darted in. From the top of the key, she drove right. Bryson comes up with another block. Stefanski thought about it. Left corner Lewis, drives right, finds Bryson right of the hoop and lays it in. Good look by Lewis to find Bryson underneath. And that was an easy two. 45-41, 5:06 to go. In the third quarter, Goldey-Beacom on top. Between the circles, Kuhnen being guarded tightly by Stefanski. Crosses over, works the left, flips it up with the right, off to the left. Tipped underneath. Milligan goes back up and finishes on the follow off glass. Two teams trading buckets, 45-43. 4:45 to go in the third quarter. Bryson left baseline, she'll pass out. Skip past Lewis, right wing, drives right on Kuhnen, kicks into the right corner, Tanner Rush. But an offensive foul on Lewis. She left her feet on the pass and ran over Periski. Third foul on Lewis, she'll sit. Third team foul on Goldey-Beacom. Now Lexi Bruno back in the game. As is Marissa Howard. Burner and Lewis sit. Right to left, McDonough crosses over up high. Shot was partially blocked. It goes out of bounds and stays with the Griffins. McDonough again darting in. This time she went left. Usually goes to her right side and uses the right hand. Periski off the inbounds, right of the hoop, gets it to go off glass. Spinning on her man, hit the shot off the window. And Nicole Periski gets her first bucket of the game. She's been quiet so far. 45 all. 4:08 to go in the third. Bruno, right elbow. Top of the key, fires away, got it to go. Bruno found a lot of room on the pick and roll. Kind of picked her spot. Had some room on the right elbow, ended up moving over to the top of the key and hit the open jumper.
Yeah, after that Bruno shot, kind of feel like it's her game and everyone else is just playing in it.
Been reasonably quiet, all things considered, because of the foul trouble. Just has 12, as Milligan misses the shot on the other end from the left of the hoop. Tanner Rush between the circles. Bruno down low. Extra look. Stefanski at 3. Got it. Kyla Stefanski has been deadly from downtown. It's back to a 5-point lead after the Griffins tied it. 50-45, 3:17 to go in the third quarter. McDonough looking to answer, banks it home from the top of the key, straight on. Now 50-47, 3:08 to go in the third quarter. Bruno crossing over up high, backs out left wing, jacks it up, too short this time. Long rebound, Howard feeds Bruno, fires again, in and out from 12. Going back up is Bryson, and that's off to the left. Rebound McDonough.
Chestnut Hill is fortunate to not be on the other end of another second chance basket. Goldey-Beacom had a couple different offensive rebounds there.
Yeah, Bryson typically finishes that second look. Milligan tips it underneath right to Wild Goose, and she finishes right of the hoop.
That was fortunate for Chestnut Hill. A couple tip passes and another tip pass right to Wild Goose for the easy 2 points.
50-49 the score. 2:24 to go. Bruno open look right corner. Air ball too short. I think she was too open.
Maybe a little rattled after the two misses, which kind of seemed like shots she would have made on the last possession and didn't hit either off the offensive rebound.
And that's a somewhat surprising miss right there for Alexi Bruno. But the Griffins will take it, now down 1 as we come up on 2 to play. McDonough crosses over up high. Scoop shot won't go with the left hand left of the hoop. Rebound Bryson, and here comes Bruno left to right. Open look, a left corner 3, too short from Stefanski, and Milligan fouled on the rebound by Tanner Rush. That's her third. Fourth on Goldey-Beacom. One more the Griffins will shoot. Now Chestnut Hill going small. Trossi in the game. Wild Goose will sit. Trossi has 3 fouls. Right to left, she brings it up court. Hands off for Kuhnen between the circles. Spinning on Stefanski. Milligan left corner, 18 on the clock. McDonough left wing, works right on Stefanski. To the hoop. Comes up short with the left off glass, out of bounds. Off of the Griffins last.
And then the last 2 straight possessions, McDonough's had good looks at layups on the left side of the rim. For some reason, missed on both of them. Unable to line up the layup.
McDonough doesn't take what you would call a conventional layup. She holds the ball low, kind of scoops it up, and sometimes it serves her well. Last couple times it hasn't. Better with her right hand. Free throw line, back to the basket, Bryson. Risky on her, 18 on the clock. Drives right, goes up with the left, too strong, gets her own rebound, and is fouled. So Bryson going back to the line for 2 shots. 1-point game, 50-49. 1:16 to go in the third quarter. Just heard Michael West barking out at Nicole Periski. Nicole rebound the basketball. Wasn't happy. Goldey-Beacom got an extra look there as Bryson hits the first of 2.
I think that kind of just says to the point how Chestnut Hill's really got to tighten up defensively in the paint, specifically where Periski's position is. Not only her, but all the taller girls in general playing in the paint.
This has been a game where Michael West has looked visibly frustrated at points. On the sideline as Bryson hits the second. Periski right block, air ball. Too strong, but Milligan takes it away from Howard. Left elbow jumper off to the right from Kuhnen. Long rebound near side by Bruno.
Tougher to agree with that shot choice. Off the offensive rebound had a wide open look, but could have took another dribble, maybe took it back out. Used all the shot clock, at least got points out of the possession.
And Kuhnen, the Griffins' best jump shooter, is at the other end. Bruno was fouled. She'll go to the line for 2 as she drove inside. That's normally a shot she'll hit, but came up a little bit short. So now, as has been the story, every time the Griffins get close or tie the game, naturally you get a technical foul here. So Bruno, she's at the line for 2, but she's going to get the 2 techs as well. Trying to find out what exactly happened here. Periski. So that will go against Nicole Periski, who it's the second time I've seen her pick up a tech this year. Can get a little bit passionate out there. Bruno too strong on the first tech. She has, after the technicals, she has 2 more to come after this, too. 44.9 on the clock as Bruno hits the second. We'll stretch the lead out to 53-49, now a 2-possession game.
And really just not a great way to close out the third quarter mentally or physically for the game. And Periski just got to get your head in the game. Got to be able to hit that wide open layup and just common sense, just doing the mental things, being in the paint for the free throw shots.
Bruno hits both of the conventional free throws. Periski, to your point, she's had a frustrating game. 4 points, 3 boards, and now 4 fouls. So she is on the bench and will likely sit for a while. 35 on the clock in the third. Griffins down 55-49 after the 3 free throws from Bruno. McDonough between the circles, 11 on the clock. Now Wild Goose, top of the key, 8 on the clock. Crosses over on Bryson, goes to the hoop, partially blocked, and Bryson comes away with the board as Wild Goose tried the running layup left of the hoop. Here's Bruno, 12 on the clock. She backs out 40 feet away far side, and she'll hold for the final shot. 8 on the clock, she gets moving. Top of the key, drives right, feeds Bryson on the pick and roll, blocked from behind by Milligan. 2 on the clock, Trossi's got to jack it up, loses it. Bruno off to the right, nearly hit it on the desperation 3 from straight on 23 feet away after Trossi had it stripped. So that is how the third quarter will end with Goldey-Beacom on top. 55-49, Griffins trail as we start the fourth. Trossi, top of the key, backs out with Lewis on her. Looking for help, hands off for Kuhnen, left wing, works right with the right. Milligan straight on 3, too short. Would have been her first 3 of the year if it fell. Rebound for Bryson and Goldey-Beacom. Bruno left to right. Stefanski thought about it from the deep right wing, works right instead with Trossi on her, 18 on the clock. Bruno right wing. McDonough playing her, behind the back dribble, goes left, top of the key, feeds Bryson underneath, rejected by Wild Goose, and Milligan comes away with the board. Trossi right to left, crosses over from the left wing on Lewis and gets it to go, left of the hoop.
And a terrific crossover move at the elbow there. Looked like she was going inside and then went back outside down the lane, able to hit the easy layup.
Trossi very, very quick. 55-51, Griffins down 4. Lewis works right, kicks into the right corner for Bruno. She holds, 12 on the clock. Drives diagonally across the lane. Lewis a 3, got it from the left corner. See if it's a 3 or a deep 2. Looks like a deep 2, foot on the line. 57-51, 8:36 to go in the fourth quarter. Griffins trail. Trossi between the circles. In the corner, Milligan, she holds. Drives right into the lane, spins, up and under move, handoff for Trossi, flips it up with the right, off to the left in the middle of the lane. Milligan keeps it alive and has the fresh 30. Kuhnen a 3, book it. Caity Kuhnen a big 3 for the Griffins. 57-54, 8:06 to go in the fourth quarter, back to a 1-possession game. Bruno beats Howard, right block, looking for help, passes out, a 3 on the way, got it. Stefanski wide open as the defense collapsed down low on Howard. And Stefanski answers Kuhnen's 3 with one of her own, 60-54, under 8 to play in regulation. Wild Goose calling for it down low, has it left block, goes across the lane, Bryson rejected, and it goes out of bounds. It stays with the Griffins. Tanner Turner rush back in the game now for Goldey-Beacom. 17 on the shot clock. That ball never drew iron. McDonough in for Wild Goose. Left block, stripped by Bruno out of bounds. And it stays with the Griffins. Wild Goose fortunate there. She never saw Bruno coming, but Bruno couldn't corral it in the corner. Trossi between the circles, crosses over on Lewis. Cut off and backs out to the left corner. Tries again into the lane. Backdoor pass for Wild Goose off her hands, a little bit too high. And Bruno comes away with the steal. Good look, but just a little bit too high. Lewis left wing, driving inside, rejected by Milligan. Trossi with the board. Trossi looking to run, but Goldie gets back. Trossi will try it anyway, cut off in the lane, and she'll back out.
And ever since Periski's technical foul, Milligan's really stepped up as the defender in the paint. Had that really nice block to end the third quarter rather, and now that block, a couple game-saving blocks from Milligan.
Wild Goose came up short from the left block. Milligan kept the rebound alive, got the jump ball call, but possession arrow goes for Goldie. They're up 60-54, under 7 to play in the fourth quarter, and the Griffins need a stop here badly. Bruno right wing, Kuhnen on her. Get past the fancy, a deep three, too short from 22 feet in the left wing. And Kuhnen comes away with the board. McDonough right wing, crosses over on Bruno, handoff Trossi, top of the key. Goes right on Bruno, ball tipped, nearly stolen. Kuhnen has it, and she's fouled as she drove to the hoop before the shot rather. It's the fourth on Jazz Lewis.
First foul of the quarter.
Now Bryson will sit,
In the game for Goldey-Beacom,
as will Lewis. So Burner and Howard back in the game. Fresh 30 for the Griffins. They need a bucket. Erica McIntosh in the game. Kuhnen calling for it down low, banks it in off glass from the right of the hoop. 60-56, 6:22 to go in the fourth quarter. Between the circles, Bruno drives left, nearly lost the ball, saves it left corner, but that's a double dribble. Bruno trying to argue it was tipped, but she doesn't win that argument, and it's a turnover. Now Wild Goose into the game. McIntosh, after playing very briefly, will come back in. Griffins have really played, and it was the case in the last game against Bloomfield as well. Really only played 6 players. Trossi crossing over, gets the shot to go and the foul. Trossi darting inside again. Hit the layup from right in front of the cup. And she can cut it to a 1-point game if she hits the free throw. Now Lexi Bruno sits, the foul was on her. So that time Trossi too quick even for Bruno. Rims out the free throw though, 60-58. As we come up on 6 to play in regulation. Burner driving right from up high, and she was fouled on the perimeter on her way to the hoop before the shot attempt. Fourth on Trossi, that's bad news for the Griffins, and it looks like she'll sit. And she will. McIntosh back in, Trossi sits because of the fouls.
Now you got Trossi for Chestnut Hill and Bruno for Goldey-Beacom sitting, the 2 premier point guards for both teams. So it'll be interesting to see how the teams respond as the bench players get a chance.
Michael West, as Trossi came to the bench, was just telling Trossi that she didn't want her guarding Burner that far out. Thought that led to the foul. Ball was tipped out of bounds by Milligan and stays with Goldey-Beacom, and it's Burner between the circles with 20 on the shot clock. Now Howard and Stefanski right wing. Find Lewis, short left wing, 18 feet away. She holds, Milligan on her. Burner right wing, 8 on the clock. Wild Goose out on her. 6 on the clock. Burner has to get moving. Goes left around a Howard screen, and an illegal screen on Howard. Second time she's been called for that in this game, and it goes the other way. Third on Howard. As foul trouble continues to mount for Goldey-Beacom. Third team foul for Goldie as well. Right wing McDonough wide open. Air ball right into Milligan's hands, though, with 18 on the clock. Shot clock doesn't reset. McDonough left wing, back for Milligan, pick and pop. No good, air ball way too short from 18 and the left corner. 2 good looks, and they get nothing for it, do the Griffins. Still trail by 2.
That last look was way too good to pass up for Milligan. I think she's got to be a little more aggressive on the offensive side of the court and make a move. She had the ball wide open, no one on her. The only defender near her was the one guarding Wild Goose in the post. She would have had to made her decide between one or the other if she'd simply tried to at least pass it to her, and if she didn't come out and cover, take the wide open jump shot.
Lewis throws it out of bounds. As Goldie got an offensive rebound on that possession. He's looking for Howard on the right block, and it's a turnover. And to your point, Nick, she ended up with the open look from the short left corner, but I think you're saying that off of the McDonough missed three that went right to her, she should have went up from right next to the hoop instead of dribbling out. It's Kuhnen, drives right from the top of the key, shot off the side of the backboard out of bounds, but it was partially blocked by Bryson, so it stays with the Griffins. 60-58, the score holds. 4:25 to go in the fourth quarter. Big game for both teams, conference matchup. Kuhnen driving right from the left corner, rejected by Tanner Rush from behind. Bryson comes away with the board in traffic underneath. And he gets the ball out to Lewis. Now it's Turner Rush, in a rush, and she's fouled from behind. That'll be a push on McDonough, her second. Just the second team foul on the Griffins, so they're in pretty good shape there. And now Lexi Bruno comes back in. Lexi Bruno playing with 4 fouls, so they should go right at her offensively when the Griffins get the ball. Bryson turns it over up high. She was looking for Stefanski. Pass up ahead, Milligan and McIntosh feeds Wild Goose in the lane, gets it to go from the left of the hoop on the run. Tie ball game, 60-all. 3:56 to go in the fourth quarter. Bruno trotting it up far side, left to right. Step back jumper, too short, an air ball. It was a deep 2, and it goes out of bounds. And goes to the Griffins. So Bruno has been a little bit off today. Just 15 points below her season average. Now 5 of 14 from the field, 1 of 6 from deep.
Yeah, and right when she looked like she was about to start getting hot, she started missing a lot of wide open shots and really
foul trouble.
Yeah, really big cold streak for her.
Foul trouble has kept her off the floor for long stretches in this game. Probably has thrown her rhythm off to some degree. So the Griffins can take the lead here. 10 on the shot clock, right off the hoop. Wild Goose lays it in with the right hand. Working on Bryson. 62-60, the Griffins with their first lead of the fourth quarter. Turner Rush right wing, chance of defense from the crowd, 3:05 on the clock. Down low, Bryson, air ball, she was wide open from the left of the hoop, missed everything somehow. It's a good look by Lewis to find her. Left corner, Kuhnen. Drives left baseline, flips it up with the right and gets the roll. Looked like it was a little bit too short, but she got the friendly hometown roll, and she puts the Griffins on top 64-60. And a timeout taken with Chestnut Hill up 64-60 with 2:48 to go in the fourth quarter. And Nick, a big change in momentum the last minute when the Griffins, who have been trailing for pretty much the entire second half, save for a few moments here and there, have finally taken the lead and have it stretched out to a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, the last couple of minutes have been really interesting, actually. The Griffins really been clawing their way back slowly but surely, and then it ended up being 60-60. And now a couple back-to-back air balls for Goldey-Beacom gives Chestnut Hill a 64-60 lead. Just 2 minutes left. It's coming down the wire now.
And the last one, it was Bryson this time, missing wide open down low. It's Bruno running the offense left to right. Deep left wing, goes right around a Bryson screen. Kicks out Stefanski, a 3. Got it. Right corner, Stefanski, who's been lights out from deep.
Right on cue, Stefanski with another 3-pointer. She seems to just come out of nowhere and hit a 3 right when Goldey-Beacom needs it.
Can't give her an inch. 64-63, lead trimmed to 1. Between the circles, Wild Goose. 12 on the shot clock, 2:14 on the game clock. McDonough looking to answer, and she does. Right wing 3 from Brittany McDonough, and it's 67-63, 2:05 to go in the fourth quarter.
And that was a huge 3-pointer from McDonough. Hand at her face, shot clock winding down, didn't know what to do, and just threw it up.
Air ball that time from Stefanski on the same exact play, a pick and roll with Bruno and Bryson, and they kick to Stefanski. This time she misses from the same spot, right wing. McIntosh backdoor cut, and she was fouled. No, double dribble. Looked like she was going to lose the ball anyway, and it was a double dribble. Now McIntosh will take a seat. Trossi back in with the 4 fouls. 1:44 to go in the ball game. 67-63, the Griffins lead. Griffins, if they win this game, can propel themselves into a tie for third place in the CACC South. Bruno around the pick and roll from Bryson up high, gets the roll from the right of the hoop off glass with the right hand. Difficult shot from Lexi Bruno. They're again working that pick and roll. 67-65, Trossi on the run, cut off, backs out to the right corner, and she'll reset the offense.
We've seen Bruno do a couple times, a couple crazy layups, but that time over Wild Goose, and with just a minute left, that was huge for Goldey-Beacom.
Trossi crosses over to the hoop, got the shot to go, and no, an offensive foul. Going the other way. And Trossi is fouled out. Michael West is irate, screaming at the official, pointing at him. He's got to be careful. Griffins already have 1 tech in this game. Griffins have 30 seconds to pick a substitution. McIntosh got ready to come back in. Michael West said not yet. So that's a big swing potentially as Trossi is out. Now McIntosh comes in.
A huge momentum swing right as Chestnut Hill is taking the lead and running with it. Trossi almost got the and one there. That would have been a 2-possession game. Instead, they're going to call it an offensive foul, which is not only her 5th, but it also
negates the bucket.
Yes, negates the bucket, and now she can't play the rest of the game. Big call.
67-65, Lewis left wing, 20 on the shot clock. Back for Bruno between the circles. Man-to-man D from the Griffins, under a minute to play now. Bruno doesn't use the screen from Bryson, goes left instead, kicks for Lewis, a runner from 18 in the left corner. Too strong, and a rebound for McDonough. McDonough near side, right to left. Goldie does not have to foul here. 44 on a running clock, 18 on the shot clock. So the Griffins can hold here, run the clock down a bit, and if they make a bucket, can stretch it to a 2-point game. McDonough left wing, 10 on the clock, crosses over. Milligan left corner, goes right around a McDonough screen, 6 on the clock. Milligan running, layup, got it to go from the right of the hoop. And a timeout taken by Goldey-Beacom. 69-65, 27.3 to go in the ball game. Griffins on top, and a gigantic play by the junior captain, Lauren Milligan. Milligan starting from the left corner, went around the screen from McDonough, went all the way across the lane. They got it up and in with the right off the window. So now the Griffins, if they can play solid defense and of course hit their free throws, which will likely come into play here, they should be able to hold on and get what would be a massive victory for them in the conference. A must-have victory, if you will, if the Griffins are to make the CACC conference tournament.
Yeah, I absolutely think this would have been a must-win today. Goldey-Beacom really would have wrapped up and secured 3rd place, and Chestnut Hill would have just been fighting to get out of 6 or 7, but they lost today.
Here's Lewis between the circles. Bruno left wing, drives left baseline, kicks out Bryson underneath, and gets it to go from the left of the hoop. So there's the quick 2, 19.5 on the clock, 2-point game. McIntosh trapped in the backcourt looking for help. Now she's fouled. Goldey-Beacom, what about 4 seconds go off the clock, though, and that's only the 4th. So Goldie will have to do it one more time. And they obviously don't want Bruno to pick up the foul. She has 4, and now Bruno will sit because of that. They can't risk it. So Milligan will inbound to the right of her defensive basket on the baseline. They'll probably be looking to get it to Kuhnen, who's the Griffins' top shooter. 15.4 on the clock, 69-67, Griffins lead. Milligan looking, gets it in for Kuhnen, off her hands, but a foul. Big break there for the Griffins. Pass was a little bit high, but they'll call the foul on the inbound before the ball even got into Milligan's hands, or rather Kuhnen's hands.
Yeah, Coach Wells was calling out a lot of different directions, and didn't look like Kuhnen knew what she was doing on that inbound play. Looked like she was trying to set a screen. No one came to get the screen, and she was covered tightly on that pass. Luckily the turnover didn't happen.
And she hits the first, hits the second. She can all but ice it as Bruno and Lewis back in the game now. They had McIntosh, but they didn't want to get it into her. They wanted to go for their better free throw shooter, which is Kuhnen, but you don't want to force it in, and that's what the Griffins did, but they got away with it. Rims out the second, and a timeout taken immediately by Beth Ann Burke. So 14.2 to go in the ball game. Griffins clinging to a 3-point lead, 70-67. 14.2 if if Goldie elects to play it that way, they could go for the quick 2, or they could gamble and go for it all on the 3.
I think the way Goldey-Beacom's been shooting today, I wouldn't
Go
be
for
shocked
3.
if they.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this game could be headed to overtime. The way they've been shooting threes today, I wouldn't be surprised to see Stefanowski hit a corner 3 or.
Well, the way they have been playing, and really their last, I'm going to say 5 or 6 offensive positions, it's been all the same play, which is that pick and roll up high with Bryson and Bruno, and then they have the option of Stefanski on the wing if the Griffins collapse down low. If I was a betting man, I'd say that's the play call, and Bruno has the option to either take the quick 2 or kick for Stefanski, depending on what's open, because 14.2, you do have time to do both, and the Griffins, not the greatest team from the free throw line, so it's not as if you get the quick 2 and you're immediately out of it.
Well, I'd be shocked if they came out with something predictable. The coaches for Goldey-Beacom have been doing a great job all day, keeping it relatively surprising and very original.
So we'll see what happens here. It's Goldey-Beacom ball. Because of the timeout, they'll inbound from the front court. Stefanski to do the honors, near side, right in front of the Goldie bench. Gets it in for Bryson, 12 on the clock. She holds, Griffins up by 3, 70-67. It's Stefanski, they're looking for the 3. 8 on the clock, Lewis drives right baseline. They can let her score, and they do. That's the right play, 4.7 on the clock, and a timeout taken. Lewis, not a smart play. Had the ball in the corner, they took a lot of time off the clock, and they let her have that one as she drove right baseline, and it's a 1-point game with 4.7 to go.
Yeah, they were looking for the Stefanski three-pointer at the top of the key with a nice screen set by Bryson. That didn't work, and then Stefanski had to give it up to Lewis, and Lewis, the clock running down, had to just get the easy 2 and at least keep them relatively in the game, still with 5 seconds left.
Not entirely over, obviously, but now with 4.7 on the clock, and obviously Goldie has to foul. They're now looking at a situation where instead of getting a true last offensive possession, it will likely be reduced to a half-court heave. Figure a foul takes at least half a second, maybe a full second. And then you have to go the length of the court after that. So we'll see what happens here. First and foremost, though, the Griffins have to get the ball in, which is never a given. Because of the timeout, they'll do so from the front court, near side Milligan. Looking, gets it in for Kuhnen, she holds, and is fouled with 3.4 on the clock. So Kuhnen actually got pretty open on that inbounds, and 1.3 seconds came off before she was fouled. So that's not ideal for Goldey-Beacom, obviously.
It looked like she could have ran some more time, too. If she just took one dribble step forward, she wouldn't even been touched by that foul.
Perhaps better to play it safe in that situation instead
Absolutely.
of risking it. So Kuhnen at the line for 2. She was 1 for 2 on her last trip. And calmly hits the first. Kuhnen with a game-high 23 now. 5 of 6 from the line. She's been excellent of late. Rattles home the second. 72-69 and a timeout taken. 3.4 on the clock. So now with 3.4 to go in the ballgame, at the very least, there's no way the Griffins should be able to lose this in regulation, as now obviously Goldie will have to just jack up a 3 and hope and pray that it goes down. But 3.4, enough time to get a decent look, and because of the timeout, they will inbound from the front court. So we can bet that this time around, Lexi Bruno did not touch the ball on the last offensive possession. It would be a safe bet that this time she will, and the ball will likely be on her hands. Or if not her, Stefanski, who in this game, Kyla Stefanski, 5 of 12 from deep, 15 points. Lexi Bruno, 17, but just 6 of 15 from the field and 1 of 6 from deep. 72-69, 3.4 seconds to go. Jazz Lewis the inbound, front court near side, right in front of the Goldey-Beacom bench. Here we go. Lewis looking, gets it in for Bruno, 35 feet away, jacks it up, off to the right, and that's it. The Griffins hold on, they come from behind, and they come up with a massive conference win. 72-69 to beat